Between Gluttony and Tweak, Wario has been on a lot of people's minds in Smash Bros. Ultimate as one of the strongest characters in the game. He has ridiculous combo potential, amazing aerial mobility, and just seemingly can kill you out of nowhere. So I want to talk about where I think he is in the meta, his buffs, his nerfs, and just general counterplay against the character, because I feel like it's very important since this character does seem very popular and very scary, especially at top level. The first thing I want to talk about is generally why Wario is so good, which is the fact of the universal jump squat buff affects him more than almost any other character in the game. He had, I think, a 6 or 7 frame jump squat in Smash 4, and now cutting that down to 3, suddenly his out of shield aerials such as nair, forward air, and up air are now 3 to 4 frames faster, so he has reliable out of shield options as opposed to in Brawl and in Smash 4 where he really didn't. Having access to his frame 5 fair on frame 8 out of shield is fantastic for him, especially considering he can set up to tech chases with up tilt, which can lead into waft, or tech chases with nair, or landing up air, or generally being able to nair out of shield into his full combo is such a stronger, it's so scary compared to his Smash 4 predecessor, who was pretty much like an okay or at best character with one of the best comeback mechanics in the game, and now it feels like he is a real character with one of the strongest comeback factors in the game, which makes him absolutely frightening and so scary mentally to play against. Not only that, but his moves in general got a lot of a quality of life increase with his up tilt, his up air, and his neutral air all being better. His neutral air now connects way better, and the second hit has a much larger hitbox because it used to be only inside Wario, so now he can land his hit 1 into hit 2 nair, which then can combo into pretty much everything. His up air, as most aerials in this game, got a landing lag reduction, which is amazing because you can go like up air into up air into up air, especially on platforms. His up tilt I feel like lingers a lot longer, and the fact that it has a strong and a weak hitbox, which both combo into waft at various percents, just makes this character's entire game so scary. His F tilt is a little bit faster, and since you can angle it, you can actually 2-frame your opponent, since most 2 frames are actually higher in this game compared to Smash 4, so that's an amazing tool. His dash attack also kills now, because it used to just be like his little slide, which kind of sucked, but it jab blocked, which was, I guess, was good, but now it kills at like 100, 110 at the ledge, which is amazing, especially for far tech chases. His bite now kills, his forward throw doesn't kill, but because you have bite, which is a command grab that also kills, and you can, have it lingering on a neutral get up, it just makes tools so easy for you to kill at the edge, and Wario just obviously has no trouble killing at all. He has waft, he has back air, he has forward smash, forward tilt, dash attack. This character just has so much, can go out there and edge guard. His downer is also incredibly powerful. This character just kills effortlessly. It's crazy. Not everything that Wario got was a buff though, and his main nerf is the fact that Bike takes a lot longer to come back. It used to be once it's off the screen or off anything, it is pretty much good to use again. It was like that in Brawl, and it was like that in Smash 4, which enabled him to have a very defensive playstyle, so he could just run, waft, land with his amazing aerial mobility, and then just do it again and slowly camp for waft. And now that is not the case. I believe it is a 5 or 7 second timer that Bike is when it's gone, you have 5 or 7 seconds to not have it, which is fantastic for playing against Wario, because now you know, oh, the bike just got destroyed, so if I hit him off stage, he still won't have access to it. He has less resources, might have to use waft in order to recover, or recover in a very specific way since he can't bike, and then you can actually kill him for it. So that is incredibly nice. However, that is coupled with a buff of bike, which is, or I guess it's like a buff kind of nerf, because you don't get those ridiculously long combos, as bike will continually bounce on people that could deal upwards of 100%, like you can see in Smash 4, but now it actually kills. So if you have a character with a bad recovery or an abusable recovery or a linear recovery, you can kind of grab bike, throw it off stage, they have to air dodge it, and then you just back air them and they actually just die, which is, again, amazing for Wario. I do think that is actually an incredibly smart nerf, because defensive Wario was obviously really slow, really lame, and it just enabled him to get waft over and over and over again, especially in Brawl, oh my god, because you could do it off of the ledge. It was ridiculous, but now that is no longer the case, so he kind of has to stay in your face, but right now, because of his buffs, that is not a problem for Wario. The combination of both his dash speed and his air speed, again, they're both pretty high, so he's able to be mobile both on the ground and in the air, which is really scary. He has amazing aerials and pretty decent ground normals. Are not the best other than up tilt. I would say his jab is underwhelming. His forward tilt is pretty good, but only at high percents. His down tilt is incredibly fast and actually underrated. Did you know that you can actually combo a running down tilt into a dash attack at high percents? So he has a ground kill confirm, he has multiple air kill confirms. He has obviously back air, which is amazing for spacing. His up smash allows invincibility on it, although it doesn't kill particularly early. You're pretty much never going to land an F smash unless you get a super hard read on someone, but again, it's not even worth it to go for those as Wario because he just plays such a solid game of just speed and combos and edge guarding. His edge guarding is so good because his down air is so disjointed, or at least it feels disjointed. Like, I've beat so many moves like Fox's up B, Falco's up B, even like just so many other things that I feel like should beat it out, and it just wins or it trades and then it spikes because it's a multi-hit. Like with a swordy up B, it is actually crazy. And speaking of swordies, I do want to talk about some matchups I think Wario struggles in. Despite everything I just said, Wario is not a character that just wins every single matchup. You see Tweak have such high success with this character, but that is also with a plethora of secondaries that can cover all of Wario's bad matchups. So yes, you're going to see him shine, but that is because he is playing in matchups that are generally considered fairly good for Wario, because he will go other characters in matchups that he struggles in. Even though Wario has a bunch of great things about him, I do think he struggles with characters that can wall him out. Lucina, Shulk, other sword characters, or other characters with amazingly disjointed hitboxes can do very well versus Wario, since it's struggle, like he will struggle to get things started, he will struggle to get that nair, he will struggle to get that up tilt, and it makes it more difficult for him to get in, and then he can also get edge guarded because swords can easily hit him out of his up B. I do think Lucina is one of the characters that does better versus Wario, and obviously I'm not saying this as a Wario main or even a swordy main, it just comes from kind of from looks and from general perception and general just game knowledge. I do feel like it is fairly good versus him. Shulk especially also probably does well due to the fact that he can use shield art to get out of any combos or smash art at low percents if he wants to, and just make it difficult for Wario to get anything started. So I actually think Shulk and Lucina do incredibly well versus him. And swords being so common of characters, considering there's like 7 of them or whatever the hell, you know, it's going to be difficult for Wario to circumnavigate those over the course of an entire tournament, which is why it is incredibly important if you are going to play Wario, or you do play Wario, to have a secondary for those sword characters. Like, yes, do I think every matchup is possible for Wario? Yeah, you saw Tweak beat Nario's Lucina, who is one of the best Lucinas, obviously, is one of the best Warios, if not the best Wario. Him and Gluttony are probably the top 2, or Gluttony if you want to be, you know, super accurate in terms of Europe's pronunciation. But either way, like, it's just, it doesn't make it easy. Like, just because you can win a matchup doesn't mean it's necessarily easy or in your favor. So, you know, Tweak is just an amazing player, arguably the best player in the world right now, and it makes sense that he can beat anyone pretty much with his Wario. But again, you do have to remember that he did switch off against Waddy's Rob after he was down game 1 against that. So, you know, this character does struggle sometimes to get his footing either against camping characters or against sword characters that can just wall him out. So he's not perfect, but damn is he incredibly good. I easily think a top 15 character, maybe top 10, still not 100% sure yet, again, due to how prevalent swords are, you know, that might make a difference. But either way, this character, so strong, so powerful, just so many good things about him, and honestly, very few flaws. This character has a good combo game, can kill, can rack up mad damage. I feel like is very versatile on a bunch of different stages, can camp if he's close to Waft and it's hard to hit him because of his aerial mobility, can kill really easily. This character, he seemingly has it all other than a consistent way to approach, due to the fact that you can, you know, if he nair ones you can parry hit 2, or even just hit him before the second hit and nair comes out if you have a good out of shield option. So it can be difficult for Wario to get in, but that is seemingly his only flaw. So I easily think he's one of the best characters, one of the most explosive combo games in the entire game. And of course, that comeback factor in Waft, which I didn't even talk about that heavily, but I think you guys understand how powerful of a tool that is. And yeah, that is going to be about it for this one. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know in the comments down below who you want me to talk about in other videos, and not a character that I've already talked about, please, because I would like to talk about new and fresh characters for y'all. I would really appreciate it. As always, social media, Panda, and partner stuff is down below, and I will see you all next time. Bye.